Now let's look at some more TikTok bad astrophysics. Now let him talk for a bit.
Earth isn't a spinning ball orbiting the sun. Well, all I'll need is Polaris and the Georgia Guidestones, and I know, unfortunately, I'm gonna have to use rocks that had to keep the population under 500 million. I know, terrible, but you're gonna see why in just a second. So, if you weren't aware, Polaris stays in the exact same spot in our night sky, and during the day we just can't see it, and it has for thousands of years. And if you want to say that there was another North Star, I'm calling pseudoscience right away. Extraordinary claims in absence of extraordinary evidence, like for real. But it gets way worse. Not only does Polaris stay in the exact same location in the sky, the Georgia Guidestones had a hole drilled into it that sat on Polaris 24/7, every single day and night. How is that possible if we're doing this?
The Georgia Guidestones were only up for 42 years, from 1980 to 2022 when they were destroyed. That is less than 0.2% of the 25,770 years it takes for the Earth to process around its axis to change the pole stars. So we've measured it. So not extraordinary evidence.
Do you know how much synchronicity is in our sky? The sun goes around the level plane that we live on every 24 hours to create day. The moon phases to create months. The stars realign in the exact same location every single year, once a year. Same thing with the Orion Belt. It aligns above the pyramids in Giza every year, once a year. I want you to just look at this and think, would there be any synchronicity in the sky if we were actually on a ball doing this?
I think you're mistaken several things here. First of all, precision, which is the wobble around the Earth's axis around itself, and then they have the radial velocity of the sun moving around in the galaxy, and then you have the proper motion, which is 90 degrees to the radial velocity. And it's been measured in other stars. Barnard's star, which is a fairly close star, it's like the fourth closest to us, has a movement of 10.3 arc seconds per year, which the total velocity comes to about 142.6 kilometers per second. So in the year 11,800, it'll be 3.75 light years away from Earth. So the stars do move, and they don't have to move around us. Plus, also, if you go out and look at a star at night, and then go out several days later, you'll notice that the star has been moved by a certain amount, and that amount equals to about 3 minutes. It takes 3 more minutes, 54 seconds every day for it to move around, and it's been measured. That's what scientists do. They drink coffee, they measure things, they figure things out. And this movement is due because the Earth is moving around the sun, and the Earth is rotating around its axis, so it takes longer for everything to realign.
Would the Georgia Guidestones be able to line up with Polaris constantly if we were actually doing this? Now let's jump into reality. The North Star is fixed here in the firmament. The stars, the sun, and the moon rotate above us. The Earth is fixed and motionless. That's how all of the constellations have stayed in the exact same shape, because the stars and everything are apparently doing their own orbits around their own black holes. And how would they stay in the exact same shape? Ursa Minor, Ursa Major, Polaris, Cephus. There's just simply no other explanation.
So you've measured the orbits of the stars around black holes, around their own black holes each. Well, that's not what science has come to a conclusion of, that they orbit around the center of the galaxy around a black hole there. So that's new.
For how Polaris would stay in the exact same spot. You'll see the trails when they get farther away from the North Star, they get longer. It's because they're all fixed in the firmament, doing a circular motion over our head. Everyone thinks that the luminaries in the sky are a good proof that the Earth is a ball.
The star trails are like that because all of the stars are moving at 15 degrees per hour. Ask Bob. Well, sorry, Bob. But since the Polaris is near the top, near the center, it doesn't have to move that far, and the star trails near the bottom have to cover a larger distance over an equal amount of time, so therefore they look like they're going a longer distance. We also have Gaia, which is a space probe out at the L2 point, which is measuring billions of stars and their movements around the center of the galaxy. So yes, we're measuring it, and we find that they're not going around us, they're going around the center of the galaxy. So I don't really get any real proof out of this guy, but thank you for listening, and hopefully there'll be another one.